All right, let's dive into a story full of tigers, tunes, and some twists and turns you won't believe. We're going deep on Joe Exotic today. We're going way past the memes and that whole Tiger King craze online. You sent in his Wikipedia article, and you want to know what's real and what's exaggerated. So today, we're separating the man from the myth, and let me tell you, it's a wild one.
It really is. When you read these sources, it's a story about ambition, fame, and what happens when the internet gets involved. It's more than just a weird story. It makes you think about animal welfare, the media, and why we're all so fascinated by these over-the-top characters.
Seriously, it's like someone mixed reality TV and a fever dream. So, where do we even start with this guy? Our guy, Joe Exotic, didn't pop into this world with that name. He started as, get this, Joseph Schreibvogel, from Kansas, no less. Talk about small-town beginnings, huh? But here's where it gets interesting. He becomes a police officer, like a real-life lawman. Nobody sees that coming, right?
It's wild how these early things he did kind of hint at what was to come later. That whole law enforcement background, the move to Florida, opening a pet store, it all shows he was always into animals, had some charisma, and maybe even back then liked to push the limits a little.
Right, like he always wanted something more, and then, bam, tragedy hits. His brother, Gerald Wayne, dies, and it changes everything. Joe establishes the Jidoyu Zoo to honor his brother's memory, and that's when things really take off.
That's a really important part of the story. Everything says Joe is crushed when his brother died. The zoo, named after him, becomes his obsession, his way of keeping his brother's memory alive. But it also becomes the root of some serious problems later on.
He said he rescued his first tiger, which, on the surface, sounds pretty noble, right? But looking at the sources, it seems like things weren't always so clear-cut when it came to how he got and took care of his animals, and that becomes a bit of a pattern. But anyway, so we've got Joe, the zoo, the tigers, but this is Joe Exotic we're talking about. This guy was never content with just one thing. So what does he do? He decides to launch a country music career. Music videos, the whole 9 yards.
And that's where things get a little complicated. He wanted everyone to see him as a country music star, but the truth is, he often claimed songs as his own when other people wrote and performed them. It's our first clue that Joe's relationship with the truth, let's say, was flexible. He really wanted that spotlight. I mean, that desire for attention even got him on these documentaries like America's Most Dangerous Pets and The Life Exotic.
It's like he was creating his own legend way before Tiger King came along. And speaking of legends, here comes Carole Baskin. You can't talk about Joe Exotic without this feud. It's basically internet history.
And it's important to remember, behind all the memes and crazy accusations, there was a real conflict. Carole Baskin and her big cat rescue, they were totally against cub petting, which was a huge moneymaker for Joe at the zoo. It's like two totally different ways of thinking. Animal welfare versus entertainment.
Yeah.
And, well, Joe being Joe, he took it to a whole other level.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're talking constant YouTube rants, accusations that Baskin murdered her husband, which, by the way, has never been proven at all. And he even went so far as to copy Big Cat Rescue's branding, trying to make her look bad. Now, that's what you call a rivalry.
This is where the story goes from strange to something else. While this whole feud is exploding online, behind the scenes, problems with animal welfare at the zoo were piling up. And we're not just talking about small stuff. There were big concerns about how the animals were being treated.
Yeah, this is where those USDA citations come in, right?
Yeah.
Like neglecting emus, messing with records. It doesn't exactly make him look like he cared about the animals more than anything else.
Exactly. And not following the rules caught up with them. And that leads us to the craziest part of Joe Exotic's story. The hit he tried to put out on Carole Baskin.
Yeah, this is where it goes from weird to seriously criminal. The guy gets arrested for trying to have Carole Baskin killed.
He was found guilty too. Even with a story as wild as this one, that's a crazy twist. It just goes to show, behind that over-the-top personality, there was a darker side, a side that put him behind bars.
Think about it from a flamboyant zookeeper who sings country music to a federal prison cell. Who could have predicted that? But hold on, there's more. The story gets even wilder because, you're not going to believe this, our Tiger King had political aspirations too. This guy ran for president, not once, but twice.
3 times for president, actually, if you count his newest attempt. Plus, he ran to be governor of Oklahoma, too, don't forget.
Oh, right, you're right. And he actually launched a presidential campaign from prison. Now that is some next-level ambition. What do you think? Was it just a way to get attention? Did he really believe in his own ideas? Or maybe a little of both?
It's hard to say for sure. Some people say he just wanted to stay relevant, keep his name in the news, especially with how big Tiger King became.
Yeah, the guy knew how to get people talking, even from a prison cell. And get this, he even switched political parties between those runs for office.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder what he was really thinking, right?
It does make you think. Was it some kind of strategy to get more people on his side, or did he actually start believing different things? It's just wild we're still trying to figure this guy out.
Right. He's like a puzzle, always another layer to figure out. And speaking of figuring things out, even from prison, he's still relevant somehow. Tiger King kept his story alive, and now there's a whole Free Joe Exotic movement, people buying his merch, sharing those memes. Crazy how much support he still has.
It's like we're all fascinated by these kind of bad guy heroes, isn't it? Joe, with all that charisma and over-the-top personality, he really grabbed people's attention. And his story, even though it's sad and messed up, it resonated with people. It made us question keeping wild animals in cages, the media's role in all of this, and what responsibility we have as viewers when we get sucked into these stories.
True, it's like we're all part of this insane story just by watching it. But it's not just the viewers, right? From prison, he managed to find someone, get married. I heard that didn't work out either, though.
Yeah, even his love life's a roller coaster. Seems like the Joe Exotic show isn't over yet, even with him behind bars. He's still making headlines, giving interviews, stirring up trouble, the whole thing.
It's like he's got 9 lives, just like those tigers he loved. And speaking of, let's get back to the animal welfare stuff. That's a huge part of this we can't forget. It's easy to focus on the drama, the music, the whole feud, but at the center of it all, animals.
Exactly. Conditions at that zoo, GW Zoo, people were criticizing it way before that murder-for-hire plot even happened. Those USDA citations, they list tons of violations. Bad vet care, filthy conditions, even animal cruelty, straight up.
Breaks your heart, you know. Think about those animals stuck in the middle of all this. They didn't ask for any part of Joe Exotic's world.
Right. It makes you think twice. All this excitement about exotic animals, the entertainment business, none of it's worth an animal's well-being. Joe Exotic's story, it's a warning, showing how easily animals get exploited, how we need stricter rules to protect them.
It's a lot, for sure. We've got ambition, betrayals, legal battles, even politics all tangled up in this story. And right in the middle of it all, there's Joe Exotic. This guy, good or bad, he knew how to make people pay attention.
And that's what's so captivating about it, right? His whole life was a spectacle, like a train wreck, impossible to look away. But beyond the spectacle, there are bigger conversations here. Conversations about animal welfare, about the media, and about where entertainment ends and exploitation begins.
So true. This has really given us a lot to think about today. It's way more than tigers and all this craziness. It's about human nature, our obsession with fame, and what happens when ambition goes unchecked.
Exactly. It makes us ask, what is it about this guy, Joe Exotic, that still fascinates us so much? What does that say about us?
Big questions. And those are questions we're going to leave with you, our amazing listeners, to think about.
Yeah, definitely makes you think. This deep dive has taken us from small town Kansas all the way to saving big cats? With some stops along the way for music and even politics.
And don't forget the courtroom drama. Joe Exotic's story really shows you sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. It's like something you'd see in a movie, but it all really happened.
Seriously, what a ride. We've covered his ambition, how much he believed in himself, and man, that guy knew how to grab the spotlight. It's was Joe Exotic made for the internet age, or was the internet made for guys like Joe Exotic? Now, that is a good question. It really seems like his personality, always stirring up controversy and knowing how to use social media, it all just kind of lined up perfectly to make him famous.
Right. And because it's this mix of personality and technology, it makes his story matter even more today. Makes you think about how much power social media has, how it shapes what we believe, and where's the line between being famous and being infamous?
Yeah, it makes us think about our own part in all this, you know? Are we just entertained by the craziness, or are we the reason this stuff gets so much attention?
It's a lot, but at the end of it all, there's still that question. Good guy or bad guy, was he dealt a bad hand, or did he screw himself over?
It's complicated, like most things in life. Joe Exotic, he's a walking contradiction. Loved his animals, but people say he mistreated them. Wanted fame more than anything, ended up in prison. He was larger than life, and he made us talk about important stuff, like how we treat animals and if entertainment is ever really harmless.
Wow. So much to think about. So where do we even go from here?
That's the best part of a deep dive like this. We're not here to give you the answers. You've got the information. Now you can make up your own mind.
Exactly. Think of this as just the beginning. We've got documentaries you can watch, articles to dig into, even some of his country music if you're brave enough. All that's in the show notes.
So go on, learn more about Joe Exotic, but keep your thinking cap on, question everything, and come to your own conclusions.
Well said. And that about wraps up our deep dive into the world of Joe Exotic. It's been wild, thought-provoking, and kinda unbelievable. Remember, life's full of surprises, and sometimes the truth really is stranger than fiction. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and we'll catch you on the flip side for another deep dive.